What's going on, guys? Polar Weatherman here. I'm here to answer the question of how can I make my pack lighter? So I think this is a question just about every single hiker asks at some point in their career, whether that be you're just going for a day hike, you hike multiple days, or you're doing a 2,000 plus mile through hike. When you're doing a 2,000 plus mile through hike, it is almost impossible to sustain small mileage. You have to at some point pick up the mileage, whether that be from factors of seasonal weather change. It could be just water carries are too long and your food hauls will be too big. One of the benefits of having a lighter pack is that you're just gonna have a more enjoyable through hike. It's easier on the bones, you can do bigger miles, which in turn leads to smaller food carries, less water to carry, all that good stuff. And not everything about lightening up your pack has to be expensive. Back when I did the Colorado Trail and the PCT, I had a 22-pound base weight, which is on the heavier side. And looking back at it, it was a lot of stress on my body that I did not need to put on it. So through my experience on those trails, I've learned a lot just in terms of what to drop, what to carry, and just kind of mottos to live by while you're on trail. I really believe that there's a way to drop your weight significantly, but not put yourself in any danger or much discomfort at all. And I got 10 tips right here that I'd like to share with you guys through my experience to try to help you guys out. Tip number 1, so figure out what your wants and needs are. And a good way to do this is to take everything that you're going to bring on your through hike, lay it out in front of you, and take everything that you will need and what you want. Obviously, you know, an extra t-shirt is a want, a water filter is a need. Depending on the person, a stove could be a need, and just get it laid out for yourself. Take a look at what you really need. This is a good place to start and a good place to see exactly what you could drop on trail. Tip number 2, extra clothing is heavy. I used to bring an extra t-shirt and long johns on trail for sleeping in and for extra warmth. So a good question to ask yourself is, how are you going to be using the clothes? So an extra t-shirt is nice for cleanliness, but you don't actually need it while you're on trail, and you're going to be dirty anyways, is kind of what I realized personally. That's not for everybody. I used to bring long johns, and I've switched to a lighter alternative of Dan's pants, so there's always opportunities like that in terms of saving weight in terms of clothing. Tip number 3. So while you're on trail, especially the longer through hikes, you're always going to be able to drop stuff or bring new stuff on. So always be flexible and learn while you're on trail. Tip number 4. So it's always a good idea to do a couple shakedown hikes before your trail. Whether that be just a couple overnights or whatever, you can test whether or not you like having a stove, or if you prefer cold soaking, you can try out bringing less clothes, see how comfortable you are with that. The list goes on, and you can just test a lot of things out and before you get on trail and you have to start shipping things back. Tip number 5. So while you're on trail, you should absolutely take inspiration and learn from others on trail. Personally, I got on, had no clue what I was doing back when I was on the Colorado Trail 4 years ago. And most of the stuff I've learned has either been through YouTube videos, just people giving suggestions, or while I'm on trail, learning lighter alternatives, learning cutting your sleeping pad, stuff like that. Little tips and tricks that you always can. And a lot of people do stuff in very unique ways, and maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But always look to other people for inspiration. Tip number 6. So this can be busting into more of ultralight territory, which I don't think I personally qualify as, but it is good to modify just about everything that you can. Personally, I like to cut my toothbrush in half. It fits better in a bag. Also, I like to cut my pad down to 7 panels, so it's only torso length. I found having the leg and the head on it doesn't really help with warmth. So I just use my bag and all my other equipment underneath my legs. Another tip is you can drill holes into things. You can cut off tags, really anything, just to get those ounces down little by little, because it does add up in the end. Tip number 7. So tip number 7 does come with a bit of experience, but try not to overpack food. Food is very heavy, especially when you're towards the end of your through hike and you're eating way more than you normally would. If you can try to dial in your food, kind of know what you eat in the day, it comes with your through hike. But once you know and you can really dial it in, you can save yourself a couple pounds in food, and it just makes it easier to hike, especially when you're having to do hauls that are anywhere from 4 to 7 days. Tip number 8. So when you're packing, do not pack with fear. So if you're going to be hiking for a duration of 4 to 6 months, you're going to run into some bad weather. That's just a given. But that's going to be, I don't know, anywhere from 4 to 6 days of the entire through hike. You can't let that get to you. If you brought everything you needed for the worst day, you'd be carrying so much gear. If you can just handle a couple nights of discomfort and pack for the majority of days, you're going to save yourself a lot of weight and a lot of carrying along the way. Number 9, your big 3 is going to weigh a lot. That's probably the most significant amount of weight you can bring down. Even if you can just invest into one piece of your gear, you can actually cut like 2-3 pounds off of your tent, backpack, or sleeping bag. So depending on your budget, you can cut a lot of weight just doing that. Tip number 10. Tip number 10 is my least favorite, but if you can invest the money, it is worthwhile investing into lightweight brands. You don't always need to invest into super expensive ultralight stuff. You can find pretty cheap ultralight stuff like packs. Palante makes very cheap frameless packs, very, very light. Other cottage companies will make cheaper tents or floorless tents or things like that, which can save a lot of weight. But yes, investing into your weight can make a difference. Not all the time though. Sometimes you need to buy stuff anyways. Instead of buying a 20,000 milliamp battery, buy a 10,000. Instead of buying a black diamond headlamp, buy a Nightcore headlamp. But if you can invest those few bucks into your hike, you will be thankful for it. And I think that just about covers it. Obviously, there is way more tips than what I can just give in 10 of them. So if you guys have any you want to give out to the public, feel free to post it down in the bottom. We're working here as a community, so it would be great to have everybody contributing, giving other tips and advice that you guys use on trail. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and looking forward to making more videos with you guys. See ya.